What is going on, YouTube? This is The Last Musketeer, and welcome to the first free-to-play progress video after the Is It Worth It series. So this is going to continue along for the foreseeable future. I don't know how long it'll be until I stop making progress videos, because at some point, I would imagine I run out of stuff to do, though at that point I'll probably transition to something else. But anyway, fair warning, there's going to be a lot of CC content in this video, and mainly because that's what I was working on a lot this week. It takes a lot of time out of my day to figure out each of these, because I don't look up guides for these. I just try to figure it out on my own, and sometimes it is very, very time consuming. I think one of the first ones, probably this one, took me roughly 2 to 3 hours, because figuring out how to hold the bottom lane while also being able to take out Pompeii was a bit of a problem. But I did decide maybe I can leak them, so I needed somebody that could sustain the bottom lane while he's taking damage to not get taken out there, to guarantee the success of it. And so I chose Mountain. Mountain is an absolutely insane lane holder, and he came in clutch here, because without him I probably do not complete this one. Luckily I found somebody on my friends list that actually had him up at that point. I didn't have to go in and beg somebody to put him out, but Thorns is going in the right lane with my 2 snipers to guarantee that I can take him out. Now I had to focus most of my healing between those 2 snipers to make sure that they stay alive, and of course here I could have just leaked Pompeii, but I tried to defeat him just to see if I could, and I could not currently, so we went ahead and let him through. You know, you gotta be generous at times. Not all of them are bad people, but I get that one done. Get my first actual full clear of these. I think this was the very first one. I can't exactly remember, but I believe this was the first one. So I full cleared it, was happy about that. And some of these others you'll see, I didn't have enough time to actually full clear. But I'll explain the reasoning and what happened behind them. But as you see, I get a new support hero in Deep Color, and Deep Color is one that I've really wanted for a while. I used her when I got her from IS2, and I really loved using her, so getting her is going to be nice. I'll have to level her up at some point, though I don't have the resources right now. I say that a lot, but I'm always in rough spots when it comes to resources. I've got a decent amount of experience saved up, just no LMD at the moment. But here, I'm doing just the first 10 pulls to try to get the guaranteed 5-star for extra distinction, because that's what I'm going for. I'm going for Mudrock, and I'm just a little bit behind. But as you can see, we pull Bagpipe, which is huge. Bagpipe is an amazing Vanguard, and is going to be so crucial later on when I need her to really pump up Myrtle, because it's going to make her have like an instant skill usage later on. But I have to get a lot of work put into her, so it's going to be a while for that. But I do go at that point and farm some Vanguard chips, and I ran out of sanity, and because I was feeling a little greedy and I really wanted to get Bagpipe up as high as I could, as fast as possible, I decided to go into the SN side event and try to just get 1 OP so I could use it for energy. I don't normally do that, but I was feeling like I really wanted to there, and I was a bit drained from doing CC for so long. I was just like, you know what, any stage in particular, no, just none of them in specifics is going to be a lot better for me to do right now compared to trying to go in and do some more of that CC. So I took a chance here and tried to do this. Now, one problem with this is that while he's laying that stuff on the ground that spreads and ends up doing elemental damage to your operators, I did throw Thorns down and Gavial, and I thought that if I remembered correctly, once you put something down there, it doesn't spread to that point, but evidently I was wrong. So Thorns and Gavial both get swallowed up by that. I didn't have Honeyberry leveled up at this point, so now I'm just worried about completing it. And luckily, with the event items that you use, that you get in certain maps, I was able to take out that one before it leaked, so it made it a lot easier on me. If it wasn't for that, I probably would have had to do it again, because Golden Glow didn't have her ability ready. Now, since I did get that and I used it for sanity restore, I was able to go in and farm the chips that I needed for her. Now, I don't necessarily always do that. I don't plan on always doing that, but I was so excited about grabbing this operator that I decided, you know, I might as well try to take her up for the video. So I did. She's now happily E1. I'm going to take her to level 35 because that's all the resources that I had left. So once again, we're down LMD, and it's going to be all about saving from this point on. So basically, the good part about her is when I get her to E2, she's going to have the ability to make it to where Myrtle is going to be dropped and have almost an instant skill usage, which means I get extremely fast deployment. That's going to be super useful going forward, especially for the CCs. If I could have got that done by then, it would have helped me a ton. But as you see here, this is the only part that I did. It was like 2 risk. I didn't get past 2 risk on this because by the time I was able to do this, it was so late at night. Like, I love CC, but the problem is a lot of times I run into lack of time. So I'm basically spending, you know, an hour or 2 on these, and then just I have to do the other things that I have, the other videos, the other series that I work on. And so getting these done is very, very time consuming for me. I am not that great of a player. It's still early on. I don't have a very big lineup, so I don't have the heavy hitters, the nukers that I need for these runs. So I have to use some pretty generic runs to try to get these done. Now, I did throw Gummy in there just to wake those 2 up, and then canceled that, probably because Gummy was in a bit of a bad spot, and I'm trying to use the Ling support that I borrowed to try to tank these lanes. As I'm doing another completion of this later on, I do a completely different strat and use Chin. The thing with Chin Alter is that she is so insane for a lot of these CCs. Between her and Posey, they have made short work of basically all the stuff that I've done on these. Now, I didn't drop anybody to stop the nuke from coming. That was one of the things that I had to learn to do later on, because I didn't have Jay in this lineup for some reason. Half the time it becomes like desperation drops. It's something that I got to get a lot better at. Potentially trying to do some more mapping beforehand so I can figure things out more. Honeyberry also would be huge here for the elemental cleanse. But we got it done. That's just 2 risk, unfortunately. Now, I did purchase the bagpipe skin from the CC shop because who doesn't like skins? At this point, I think it's a really good purchase, and so I took it. Now, going forward, I did also get the Texas pinboard mission done. So now I have finished the pinboard missions, and I have a great Vanguard in Texas. Now, she's going to be a little bit before I level her up, though I will be happy to add her to my squad at some point. Now, this CC in itself was a bit of a pain. As you can see here, I almost got it done. I ended up leaking that one because I didn't pay attention to the firecracker usage. That's something it took me a few runs to get down and get the timings down with everything. So basically, what I did was just use Chin Alter to do all the damage, as I've used her in a lot of different situations through these CCs so far. But right now we're just trying to block, gain some DP as fast as possible, because she is fairly costly to put out. I need her out as soon as possible to actually get the damage that I need to clear this. So if it wasn't for having as many of them deployed as possible, I would have a really, really hard time stopping this. Now, important thing to note is that you can only block the explosive guys if they're of the same color or the same element type. That guy, the slow-moving gray guy that just went down there, as he's coming in with the tentacles on bottom, whatever you want to call those things, if you have someone deployed on those elemental spots, he will actually convert the element. So the thing that you have to be careful with is making sure that you have the right one going on. So I get him to swap it. I could have used a firecracker as well, that's always an option, but he is going to guarantee that I don't hit something else and actually change the element type from an enemy. So it guarantees the block. I throw Chin back down because she would have went down from the explosions. I have to now use a firecracker to swap this, because this is where I kept losing at most of the time, not paying attention to the fact that their elements were of different types. So that one would run past Beagle before Chin could take it down. Once I fixed that whole situation, it became a lot easier. But that's going to be the first part of the progress video, guys. just to let people know before I end this video, the Discord link to the server that I was working on is now out, and it is in the description. I may have to make a general post or something about it, but for people to see, it is now available. So hopefully I'll see you there. Just make sure to follow the rules and be nice to others, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.